My name is Ravi Raj. I come from Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. One thing is that I am very grateful to Rao's IAS for providing DNS to the students. There are two aspects once you start preparing. One is reading the new content, other is the revision. I put a lot of emphasis on the revision because what I believed was that it is ultimately how you recall in the exam that matters rather than reading a lot of content. Go for minimum sources with maximum output. What I would say is that it is not impossible to do it with your job. There's no substitute for hard work, but that doesn't mean that hard work is not complemented with a bit of a smart work. Make notes. That is very, very important because what I realized, suppose in the next 1 hour, I have to go and write GST.
Yes.
Now, in that time, I have to get into that mindset. And that is where the short notes play a very, very key role.
So, what motivated you to choose mechanical engineering?
For me, mechanical engineering was a natural choice. People are afraid of taking engineering options because they believe that there's no step marking. Either you get 10 or you get 2. But that is not true. My suggestion to the aspirants regarding options is that choose an optional which you enjoy. I would say that I was heavily dependent on Rao's IAS during my preparation time. The prelims compass, which really helped me to plug the gaps in my preparation. Then I used mains compass also. That was really, really helpful for us. My message for the future aspirants would be, please have a smart strategy and focus on revision. So revision is the key here.
Hello everyone, welcome to Toppers Talk. Today we have with us Mr. Raviraj Avasti, who has scored All India 195th rank. See, we have been guiding students across India through our various initiatives such as the Daily News Simplified videos, the Prelims and Mains Compass magazine, the Focus Current Affairs magazine, and so on. So when students use our resources and clear the examination, it gives us a huge sense of satisfaction. It also motivates us to do even more. Mr. Raviraj Avasti has been associated with us through the Daily News Simplified videos, the weekly mains assignment practice questions, and so on. So, Raviraj, please tell something about yourself and also let the audience know as to what was your motivation to join the civil services.
Sure. Well, my name is Ravi Raj. I come from Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. I've done my schooling from there itself. After that, I did my graduation in mechanical engineering from IIT Indore. I graduated in 2018, and since then, I have been working as a scientist in the URO Satellite Center in Bengaluru. So, the main motivation for me to take this civil services was the opportunities that this job provides.
Okay.
It gives you a very diverse set of opportunities. It gives you an opportunity to work at the grassroots level and have a connect with the people. And that is something that gives you a lot of learning. And I believe that the maximum learning happens when you work at the ground level. And that has been the main motivation for me to take this as a career option.
Okay.
Thanks, Raviraj. So, we all have heard from you that you have religiously followed the Daily News Simplified videos for your preparation. So, I would like to highlight or ask you this question. What would you suggest the aspirants how they can use DNS in their preparation, especially the working professionals, how they can utilize their time by watching these DNS videos? How did you prepare your notes from the DNS videos? So you took any screenshots or prepared handwritten notes, or what was your strategy for covering current affairs through the DNS videos? Please throw some light.
See, one thing is that I'm very grateful to Rao's IAS for providing DNS to the students.
Thank you.
I followed it very religiously. I started my preparation in October 2019, from the September end 2019. And one of my friends was actually going to the Rao's IAS Institute in Bangalore. So initially, I was also, since once we enter into the preparation, we don't have much idea as to how to prepare the current affairs. It's only over the time we realize that what does the UPSC is expect from us when we talk about the current affairs. So he suggested me to follow Rao's ISDNS. So I think the very first video was made by Mehak ma'am.
Okay.
That was the first
great.
video that I asked, and I found it great.
Okay.
That is when I started watching these videos. And I had this habit of making notes also. I'll come to it. I started from September end 2019, and I watched the video till August 2020. And in this time, I didn't even miss single video.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
And
That's really encouraging.
it is very important because, see, as a working professional, preparing current affairs is a very, very difficult job. Because once you start to read See, in a day, I am working for 8.5 hours in ISRO. Now I am coming, I hardly have 4 hours to work or 4 hours to study. Now, in those 4 hours, if I spend 2.5 hours or 3 hours reading the newspaper, and when will I finish the syllabus? Right. That is where the DNS came in very, very handy. Because see, initially it is difficult to scan also what news is relevant from the UPSC's perspective and what is not. So you guys really did that well, that you have already provided us the content. You're already teaching it us. See, when a person teaches it to you, it gets ingrained in your mind. If I keep on studying it and I keep on reading it, at least for me, it doesn't get into my mind so easily. But once somebody teaches it with such a confidence and from such a respective institute, you should take that as a holy grail, and you can rely on that content also.
Perfect.
So it really helped me shorten that time. Regarding notes, initially I also thought that it is the news which is being asked, but what I realized in the due course of time that UPSC doesn't focus on the news. Your news headline can only be used as an example in your answer. For example, there's a question on floods. So, for example, there's a flood that happened in Chennai. So you can write storm surges example Chennai. So that can only act as a headline. What UPSC focuses upon is the issue. So you should be very, very thorough with that issue. So when I used to make my notes properly, I divided into 4 segments: GS1, GS2, GS3, and one for the prelim specific.
Okay.
Now, still the prelims, for the prelim specific, whatever news content which was there related to prelims, like there's any species in the news, or there's any simple issue like in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, the oil prices, the futures went negative. So I wrote that in the prelims, and that even came in the exam also.
Yes.
West
Provoking
intermediate.
You are provoking Baswa sir to give a long lecture now. A lot of students, while they are appearing or preparing for prelims examination, stress a lot. The anxiety level is really, really high. And that's what we also experienced when we were preparing. Call it competition or whatever, maybe the unpredictability. So what was your strategy for the prelim stage of examination?
So for me, when the exam got extended, I got a window for opportunity. See, I started my preparation September 2019. So I had very little time to complete the current affairs also and your syllabus and your optional. So till I think March 2020, I was not really sure whether I could clear mains or not. Right. But then the COVID happened and the lockdown happened and the exam got extended. So I got 2 months window. Before that, I was ready for prelims, but not for mains. So I finished my optional in that part. But then the last 1.5 months, I kept that specifically for prelims, where I had the entire content available with me. I just had to revise it. Once you start revising, see, the revision takes time. When you do the first revision, each subject will take at least 2 to 3 days for you to revise comprehensively. True. But as you go on for the multiple revision, this time will decrease. First time, if you do polity, it will take 3 days. Next time, it will be 1.5 days. Last time, you'll just be finishing it in 6 hours. So you have to ensure that you revise the entire syllabus multiple times. I did it 3 times. Then the second part is, which is very, very important, is the test series. One test series where the questions are extremely unpredictable. For example, I was following the current affairs from the Rao's IS. I took that. I used to score around 196, more than 9600 like that. But I kept this till the last 20 days. In the last 20 days, I followed the Rao's IS this test series because I wanted to boost my confidence. So in that test series, I used to consistently score above 120. So that helped me boost my confidence also. So you should prepare from both the angles. You should prepare for the unpredictability also.
Correct.
And at the last moment, you should boost your confidence. In the last 4-5 days, you should just look at the UPSC prelims questions.
Right. We also checked into your pre-pariksha performance. It was tremendous. We were just going through, you appeared in the pre-pariksha as well, right?
Yes.
You scored, I think, 135, 140 marks. This was great performance.
That's a great performance in pre-pariksha.
Raviraj, this is with respect to mains answer writing. See, we all know the importance of the answer writing to clear the UPSC mixed examination. So, when did you actually start writing the answers, and how did our weekly mains answer writing sessions help you to improve your answer writing?
So actually, due to the paucity of time, I could not start in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
But I believe that's the very first step to write an answer is to make your own notes.
Right.
Because once you make your own note, you write it by your own hand, you will know what you have written. You can use
Correct.
illustrations also to make it more simple for you.
Hmm.
So that really helps a lot. That is the first step to write an answer.
Hmm.
What I used to do was, in the course of time, what I did is, suppose I have read any issue on the DNS. Let's say it's custodial violence.
Hmm.
Now, if any mains related question is given in the DNS, it's okay.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you just search custodial violence.
Hmm.
You can find multiple questions.
Hmm.
So I used to take a screenshot of these questions and keep it with me.
Okay.
Now, every 4 or 5 days, within the span of every 4 or 5 days,
Hmm.
I used to collect 5-6 questions,
Okay.
and I used to solve them in the UPSC style answer sheets in 1 hour.
Okay.
You have to take 5 questions,
Mhm.
take 1 hour time, keep the clock with you, and solve them in 1 hour. If you leave one question, let it go. Let us just write 4 questions, but practice in a
Okay.
time bound manner, because ultimately there you have to write as many points as you get in a very time bound manner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is how I did the answer writing. After prelims, then I joined the test series.
Okay. See, in the DNS, when we cover any particular topic, right, we also give certain mains question for practice. Did you
Yes, sir.
ever start writing the answers to those questions as well?
Yes, sir. And even
Okay.
the weekly assignment that you used to
Yeah.
give,
Mm-hmm.
the very first evaluation of my answers, actually I got from that itself.
Okay. Okay.
There was a question on sexual harassment,
Okay.
Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. There was a question, I think, in December 2019's DNS.
Oh, you
That was
still
the
remember
first
the
answer
month?
that
Great.
that was the first answer that I wrote, and I got it evaluated.
Okay.
So that really helped us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since you talked about the mains answer writing thing, I would take you a step back. Now, you were preparing mechanical engineering optional, and at the same time, you were working also. So, how did you
Yes.
balance the most crucial part of your preparation, that is the preparation of mains examination for the selection? We all know that mains plays the most important part. It has the highest weightage in the overall selection rate. So, how did you balance your preparation of the mains examination, especially GS, essay, ethics? How did you prepare all these things? Or how did you balance your preparation for that matter?
See, one thing is there that for a working professional, it is extremely difficult to find the
Yeah, I
time
can
to do it.
understand. It's very
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah.
You have to scratch the time from wherever you can get it. Even the weekends, you don't have the luxury to go out on the lunch or on a dinner on a weekend. You have to slog for 12 hours, 14 hours for in those 2 days. Fortunately for me, the COVID came as a blessing in disguise. Initially, I was see, while working, we can do 2 things. There are 2 aspects once you start preparing. One is reading a new content, other is the revision. I put a lot of emphasis on the revision, because what I believed was that it is ultimately how you recall in the exam that matters, rather than reading a lot of content. So I used to revise my notes every 3-4 days, once in every 3-4 days. So suppose in the office there's a lunch time, you get 1 hour and a half hour lunch time. Do your lunch quickly, come back and revise. If there's a tea time, don't go for chit chatting, sit on your study desk and
Correct.
revise. So you can do this revision work in the office.
Yeah.
But once it comes to
Perfect.
reading new content, that takes a lot of time. That requires a continuity in time. So you can come back in the evening and do that in the evening. So that is how I used to balance revision and my coursework.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
Correct.
really. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please.
You
coming
were
to
saying,
the,
sir?
yes,
Yeah.
coming to the
Go on.
general studies, eventually we do study general studies. Everyone can cover it in a given span of time. The most important aspect is practicing. During the pandemic, since we had work from home, we could finish the work quickly. Mine was mostly research and development, so I could cover the work early and then utilize the remaining time for studying. So there, since the prelims was over, between the prelims and mains, I did a lot of emphasis on writing the answers. I made a rule that every Sunday I'll write one essay test.
Okay.
And the best way to get the questions for essay is the previous year's question paper.
Correct.
I solved it 2014, that when the pattern changed from 2014 to 2019. Every weekend I used to write that. For ethics, I made a rule that I'll finish all the case studies in 1.5 hours. No matter how bad I write, but I'll finish in 1.5 hours, because ethics paper is so long that you have to finish it at any cost. That's how I divided. Since I didn't have the time to write 3 hours ethics test every day, so I used to wake up at 6 o'clock. From 6:30 to 8 o'clock, I used to either write the section A of the ethics completely, or the case studies of the ethics completely, both in 1.5 hours. And I think this thing paid off quite well in the mains exam also, because I was continuously looking at the clock during my mains exam. So it was around 1 or 30 minutes, and one question was remaining from the section A. I left that question. I straight away went to section B. I completely solved the section B. Then I came back, and at least I could write one page in that answer. So you have to manage your time. It is very important in the mains examination. And optionals is something that is very, very important. Yesterday, mark sheet
We'll come back to that. But I would like to highlight to all the aspirants who are watching this video, the way you have managed your time and effectively utilize that time. That is a real inspiration that every aspirant should take from this video.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was really amazing. The way you managed every half an hour, every minutes that you had on your hand.
How
you
how
have
we
to
manage
start
every
to try
minute,
from
it
wherever you
seems.
can get.
Yeah.
You don't
Because
have the
a
luxury
lot
of
of
wasting time.
Yeah,
Yes.
because a lot of aspirants who come to us, they join weekend batches because they are working professionals, and a lot of people have aspirations and they do not have the kind of resources to quit the job. They are not ready to take that risk. It's a big risk, right? And so they will get a lot of inspiration from the way you are talking about how you manage your time. But still, I would like to ask you. You managed your time. You were lucky because you got work from home, especially during the times of pandemic. In the coming years, people will not be as lucky as the batch 2020 was.
Definitely.
So what message do you have? Let's say if someone has a compulsion of a corporate job, like 9 to 5 to 6 job. So what would you recommend to them? First, whether they should actually aim for civil services without quitting their job or not. And second, if they decide to prepare, what should be the mantra for them?
See, quitting the job and going completely in the civil services is their particular individual's choice.
Correct.
But what I would say is that it is not impossible to do it with your job.
Okay.
If you have the required hard work and dedication, you can do it. Like I used to start studying at 7 o'clock. I used to have dinner at 1 o'clock, sleep at 1:30, again get up at 6:30 and 7 o'clock. So if you have dedication in yourself, it is doable.
Okay.
There is no exam which cannot be cracked. Otherwise, there's no purpose of that exam.
Yeah, true.
Right.
So it is doable. But you have to ensure that you are 100% committed to it.
You are putting those
You
efforts.
give whatever is required. And most importantly, go for minimum sources with maximum output. I should also cover all these things. It doesn't matter. Even in the last year's prelims, we could see that by studying everything, you could hardly solve 30 questions.
Yeah.
After that, it was all educated guess.
Right.
So study, I would say that read one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books one time. So try to put minimum effort and get the maximum returns. Like for me, I shifted from newspaper to DNS. So that was a really game changer for me because it saved a lot of time for me. And I could focus on the other aspects also. So try to have a smart preparation. There's no substitute for hard work, but that doesn't mean that hard work is not complemented with a bit of a smart work.
Both things go hand in hand.
Okay. Okay, Raviraj, you are one of the rare students who have been able to clear the examination in your very first attempt. So what was the smart strategy which you had adopted, which enabled you to clear the examination in the first attempt?
There are few things that I think really paid off and which saved a lot of time. One, substituting DNS with the newspaper. Sorry, substituting newspaper with the DNS. That really helps save time. Other one was preparing the issue. So UPSC focuses on the issue, doesn't focus on the news.
News.
So,
Yeah.
and how to prepare the issue is you just need to have enough content to write a 250 words answer. That is
Yeah.
all is required, right?
Yeah.
Try to find out 5-6 points for merits, 5-6 points for demerits,
Demerits.
and commit some committee recommendation if you can. Otherwise, write some innovative way forward.
Yeah.
That is all is required to write one answer, and nothing more can be asked from it.
Yeah.
And write it, make notes. That is very, very important, because what I realized, suppose I have given GS1. Now I have come out of the examination hall. Everything in my mind, that is, every thought flowing in my mind is regarding GS1 right now. What points I wrote, what points I didn't write.
Yeah.
But I have to realize that in the next 1 hour, I have to go and write GS2.
Yes.
Now, in that time, I have to get into that mindset. And that is where the short notes play a very, very key role. Because in that short span of time, you can get a lot of diverse points, which will put you in that mindset, and then you can write GS2 answers.
Right.
So these are small, small things which do matter a lot. I don't know other students do it or not. They must be doing it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that is what I found to be very, very useful. And for optional also, what I realized was, looking at the previous question paper, the questions repeat a lot. There were a lot of questions which were repeated in mechanical engineering. That is why I got previous 20 years question paper solved. So that was available for mechanical engineering. I used that. I solved that like 3 to 4 times. At least 3 times I had solved that.
Okay.
And even the time between the GS4 and optional, when you get 5 days time, I ensured that for every topic, I'll solve one question. Because optional paper is very long. If you stumble onto one question and if you keep on waiting on that question, you will lose time and you will lose some question at the end.
Yes.
I ensured that it is flawless. So I think these are the strategies that I adopted, which
So
worked for me.
coming to your optional thing that you have discussed here, you chose one of the most difficult optional, I would say. Even engineers are not choosing optionals from their backgrounds. So what motivated you to choose mechanical engineering? First question is this. And what strategy do you suggest to all the aspirants they should adopt to choose any optional for the civil service examination? What could be a very scientific way of choosing the options? I would like to hear it from you.
See, for me, mechanical engineering was a natural choice because I had no time to prepare any other optional. I did it in 2 months. The time when the lockdown happened and the COVID came, I knew that now I have a window of opportunity. So I'll utilize this 2 months to finish my optional entirely.
Perfect.
So I slogged for 14 hours in that 2 months period, and I finished my optional.
Oh, great.
So I had a lot of familiarity with it. I had just graduated in 2018. I was working in a technical field in ISRO. I had studied mechanical engineering fairly well. I had 9+ CGPA from my college also.
Oh, great.
So it was a natural choice for me. And I think it really paid off. I got 300 in mechanical engineering.
Yeah, that's an amazing score.
So that really helped me. And for people are afraid of taking engineering options because they believe that there's no step marking. Either you get 10 or you get 2. But that is not true.
Okay.
Step marking is there even in the civil services and in the engineering services. In both the exams, you get step markings. So one thing is there. Other thing is that, which I also found to be quite cumbersome, is that it is quite lengthy.
Yes.
Mechanical engineering is a very lengthy optional, and you should know it in a span of 2 seconds how to solve that question. See, it's a very objective type of option.
Yes.
Either
Yes.
you know a question or you don't know a question. There's no middle ground here. You cannot write something and get the marks. So if you're very thorough with your options, you can quickly do those questions.
Yes.
But it may not be the same with the humanities option. And it is quite lengthy also. So you have to prepare it very thoroughly. And that is why I believe students go for options like anthropology, which people believe that they can finish in a very short span of time.
Yeah.
But my suggestion to the aspirants regarding options is that choose an optional which you enjoy.
Yes.
See, you should not go for an optional by looking at which optional did the topper take, which optional is scoring, which is not scoring, because you cannot predict that.
Yes.
Last year, mechanical engineering highest was 250. This year, I don't know how much is the highest. I got 300. Maybe someone else may have gotten more than me.
Yeah, 300 is an exceptional score this year. Yes.
Yeah.
So you cannot be sure which option is going to score. You have to study that option. You have to be thorough with it. You have to solve a 500 marks question paper there,
Yes.
250, 250. So
So
you have to
Raviraj,
enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. So was your confidence shaken when you came to know that my option has only got 250 and next is me in line?
So to be honest, I was not shaken because I had the confidence that if I do this well, I can. Even when
Wow.
I did my paper 2 of optional,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was actually expecting a score of around 200 after
Yeah.
normalization
So,
because that paper went flawless. Out of
mhm.
250, I think I did correct 230, 235, but I don't know how I got 158. It so
Wow.
150 is a good score.
it is a good score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see your confidence should not be shaken by the fact that how much your option is scoring. You should
Right.
have a confidence on yourself that you can score more than 300 in this option. I had that confidence. That is
Mm.
why I went with this. Initially, when I started my preparation, I also had this doubt. Should I go for mechanical engineering? Should I go for geography? Should I go
Mm.
for mathematics? But
Because
then I
that is one of
decided,
the because
yes,
that is the biggest concern for each and every aspirant.
Mm.
So what I can
yes,
draw from your this discussion is that you suggest aspirants to choose an optional of their liking because that is the subject with which they will be spending the most time in their preparation.
yes.
That's why it should be a natural choice for them.
Yeah.
And because suppose if you have studied one option for 1 month, and if you don't like that option, so you have basically wasted 1 month of your time.
Mm.
And you'll be shifting to other optional. You'll doing the same thing again. So choose one optional, see the content, see the syllabus of that optional, see the question paper. If you think that you can do this well, go for that option.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So basically, we are not. This is the last question which we are going to ask, which is how has been your association with Rao's IAS Study Circle, and what is your message for the team and the aspirants?
I would say that I was heavily dependent on Rao's IS during my preparation time
Right.
because DNS was the one thing on which I relied heavily for current affairs preparation. Other one was the prelims compass, which really helped me to plug the gaps in my preparation during the prelims, where the
Yeah.
things, for example, I started my preparation in September, but people usually start from April or May. So I
You had
did not have
tested.
the liberty to cover that DNS or cover that current affairs.
Mhm.
So I covered that with the prelims compass. Then I used mains compass also. That was really, really helpful for us.
Okay.
And also your weekly assignments, your test series, they have all played a very, very crucial role in my preparation. That is why I called to thank you all people for this. And my
Great.
message for the future aspirants would be, please have a smart strategy. See, there's a lot of information available online. Right now, we have an infodemic. There's so much of
Yes.
Yes.
information, people actually get confused what to follow and what not to follow.
True.
Stick to one source, have faith in them, and follow that religiously. And focus on revision. So, revision is the key here because you have to write 20 questions in 3 hours with each question being up to 2 pages or 3 pages.
Yeah.
And you have to write diverse points. For example, I have to write merits, I have to write 5 different merits. That cannot come without revision.
Yes.
Make your own
Yes.
notes because people are very hesitant in making notes. They
Mm.
would highlight on the PDF, read that, but the first step to write an answer is to make your own notes. So
Yes.
make your own notes, revise continuously. Once the prelims is over, concise your notes, make it as short as possible, use flowcharts. The way I have drawn flowcharts in my notes, that actually got reflected in my answers in the mains also.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
great.
if you look at this year's GS2 paper, the 10
Mm-hmm.
markers were very, very lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
They did require a lot of different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So putting those many points in that short spaces was not easy. So for that, you can use flowchart.
Mm-hmm.
Use flowcharts while making notes. It will ultimately help you in the answer writing and finishing a paper also. And just be, if you have taken this preparation, if you really want to do this, be consistent with this. Don't be like, I'll study for 5 days, I'll relax for 3 days, again I'll study for 5 days. This is not a 9 to 5 job. You have to put a
Yes.
lot of effort. and even for the working professionals,
Mm.
you have to do whatever is required to finish your exam.
Mm.
UPSC is not going to make a different paper for the working professional or for the people who are studying full time.
Yes.
Paper is going to be the same for everyone. So you have to ensure that you are giving this exam, you want to crack it, you have to do whatever is required to do it.
Mm.
So
Yes.
that is all that I would like to.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Raviraj, it was really wonderful talking to you. We know that you have been extremely busy, particularly after the declaration of the examination results. In spite of your tight schedule, you have taken out some time and shared strategy with the students. On the behalf of the entire team of Rao's IS, we wish you all the success ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All the best, Raviraj. Thank you
All
so
All
much.
the very best. You will be a great civil servant, we hope.
Yeah.
And it
Thank
seems
you.
like you are a very down to earth and humble person.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
And the insights that you have given to the aspirants, I think they are really, really important here. The way you
Mm.
have highlighted the role of time management, the role of having a precise strategy, believing in yourself, all these are the difficult things that most of the aspirants face. And your suggestion and your
Mm.
point of view on all these aspects is really motivating.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raviraj.
Actually, sir, these are the
Great.
challenges that I also faced during my preparation.
Yes, yes.
And it's only over the time that you realize how to cope up with these things.
Yeah.
And
And
the
it's
way you
good that you share it with
overcame.
the other people to
Yeah.
help them.
See, we have come across a lot of working professionals. They keep on asking us, so how do we clear the examination? There's so much of work. How do I balance work as well as study? I think you're going to be one of the biggest inspiration of the working professionals because the way you manage your work as well as the study, it was really awesome. I think it's going to help a lot of working professionals actually.
Okay, I have one more question for you, Raviraj,
Yes,
before ending. You took the interview guidance program from the Rao's IS as well.
Yes,
So, how did you find it useful, or what role it played in your interview preparation? Just few words on that.
So I took interview guidance program majorly to know how to behave in front of the people who are actually going to take your interview.
Okay.
Mm.
See, it's a very, very formal conversation once you go in front of the interview panel. So you should know how to behave. You should know how your body language should be and how to answer the questions. And most importantly, what not to do in an interview. Is not to bluff in an interview. You
That's
should
really
never
good.
know.
that is correct.
So all these things came to me in the interview. And one more thing, not to be bogged down once the interview panel asks a lot of fact-based questions.
Yes.
For example, even in my mock interview also, I think is this Prabhu Dayal sir.
Mhm.
Yes.
He asked me a lot of
He
fact-based
is with
questions
us.
like,
Yeah.
when is the Civil Services Day celebrated? I see
Oh.
you're from an IT. When is the National Technology Day celebrated? So these are the questions that will be thrown in front of you.
These
Mhm.
questions
But
unsettle you at the starting, right?
Yeah. So,
these things happen. In one of my mock interview, I was asked, tell me the horticultural commodities from Karnataka. I said, sir, I think I know only Chiku from Karnataka, which is very famous there. So okay, then we'll move on to the next question. In the feedback session, I asked him, sir, was I really supposed to know this answer? He said that you were not supposed to know this answer. That was just given to shake you.
yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that helped me a lot in the
Mhm.
actual interview also.
Mhm.
That's a great insight.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Raviraj.
Thank you.
Let's conclude the video here.